Hello there and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm mixing things up and we'll be creating a Mother's Day card. I've been wanting to share some crafty things on here for a while now, so here we are. This is a digital stamp that I've created and it will be available over on my Etsy page if you want to check it out. I'll link it down below, and there are some others I have available over there so you can create some cards as well. So in the file there's this PDF which I've printed on A4 digital paper, 200 GSM. It's smooth and perfect for alcohol-based markers and perfect for foiling, which I'll show you later on in this video as well. So I've just cut the images down with my paper trimmer. A quick tip, don't throw this scrap paper away. You can use it to test out your art supplies on before moving on to your project. I'm creating 2 cards today and I have cut one image to display the border and one without. Today I'll be using my new set of Pastel Ohuhu brush markers and the original 48 set of brush markers for the second card. So let's get colouring. For the first card, the colours I'm using to colour the flowers themselves is the V020, V030 and the B340. The B340 is more of a blue tinged purple, so it just adds a little bit of contrast and we get this really pretty, almost luminescent kind of look with the petals. For the centers of the flowers, I've used YR240 and R120, yellow, red, and then a red based marker. And then for the leaves, I've used G020, G120, G140, and G340. And then just to add a little bit of depth to the card itself, to the image, to make it look like it's popped off the page a little bit, I've used RG110. Something you could do if you wanted to mix it up is that you could cut out the image and pop it up with some foam tape, or you could use that foam tape method to pop up the whole image against a coloured background card. I also used the same colours for the flower centres as I did for the little viney bits that are coming out of the design. Moving on to the second card, from the pastel set I've used R110 and R120, but the rest of the colours are from the original set. So for the petals as well, I've used R9 and R5. Then for the flower centres, I've used YR4, YR2, and then for the leaves, GY5, GY2, G2 and G1. And then for the little swirly bits, I've used PB10 and BG1, and then for the shadow, the CG1100. I will also list these down in the description box below so that if you want to colour along with me using the same colours, you'll know which ones I've used. Again, if you don't have these markers, use whatever art supplies you have. If you have watercolour, you can print it out on watercolour paper and colour it that way instead. I would suggest a nice hot press just to go through the printer a bit nicer, but you could do that instead of using alcohol-based markers, or you could use coloured pencils. Now the extra little step I've taken with this card is to add a little bit of shimmer. I love doing this especially on cards, so I've used a Tonic Nuvo shimmer pen. If you have a Wink of Stella clear glitter pen, you could use that. It just adds a really pretty little subtle glittery sheen to the image that just gives a little bit of interest in real life, and I'll show you how this looks a little bit later on in the video. You could always add your own embellishments using some little diamantes, or you could create some interest using some metallic paints. Really customize it for your recipient. To me, that's my favorite part about creating handcrafted greeting cards, because it's come from the heart, it's made by you and made with love. And I think I could guarantee that whoever receives the card that you make for them, you'll make their day, you'll put a big smile on their face. Okay, so going back to the first card that we worked on, I'm going to be adding some gold foil to this piece. So what I've done here is I've cut down some gold foil to fit over the entire image, because where the black lines are, being that it was printed with toner ink, the foil will adhere to wherever those black lines were once I send it through my heat press machine. I have a Heidi Swapp Mink machine. If you have a laminator, you could use that. If you have an iron, you could use that. Just test it out. I highly recommend using the smoothest paper that you can find. This digital paper is perfect, and just experiment a little bit if you have never done foiling before. But I find that this one has worked perfect for me every time. They also do make a smaller machine if you're interested in getting one of those. So as you can see here, look at how pretty that gold is on the image. I just think, especially in real life, it just adds so much to the image. It makes it look really professional and just really eye-catching. So it's something that I really love to do with a lot of my card making. I became quite addicted to foiling. So now I've got my cards all made, and I've cut down some coloured cardstock to put behind the images. So this will help make them stand out more against that white cardstock. So I've picked some colours that I think will tie in with the colours of the flowers, and I'm just going to stick them down to the card base here. You could also stick some foam or foam tape behind the images to make them pop up against the card as well. It'll just add a bit more dimension. So here we have the final image of the card all made. This is the one with the glitter on it. I just think that in real life it's even prettier. It's just really subtle shimmer, but it's just gorgeous. I absolutely love using it. And here we have the one with the gold foil, another thing that I really love using as well. So hopefully this has given you some ideas of something that you could apply to some cards that you might want to make, especially if you want to make one for Mother's Day. I have some other designs on my Etsy if you're interested in checking those out for other occasions throughout the year. And I will be adding more to the shop this year as well. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!